Mitsuki's mom here. Before I shop on Amazon, I like to give Jeff Bezos the big fuck you by going to www.supporttheaddicts.com. I scroll down and click the link, and after that, everything I buy takes money out of Jeff Bezos' pocket and gives the podcast a royalty. Because fuck him and yay anime. So remember, before you go to Amazon to shop, always stop at www.supporttheaddicts.com. Again, that's supporttheaddicts.com.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at AAApodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 660th episode of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast, where we are here to make your addiction of anime so much worse. And also your addiction to cats, because we have Mako here. Hello, Mako.
He wants my chicken very badly.
He does. And that was Mitsugi, his lovely owner. Hello, Mitsugi. How you doing?
You know, I'm doing great. I'm enjoying the last remnants of a weekend and hanging out with some buddies. And it's time to talk about anime, as we do.
Yep, and we got Mason as well. Hello.
Hello. Are anime addictions going to get worse doing this episode? Because I fear it's already a fatal case for me. So I can't get much worse. So hopefully it's
He's
just
terminal.
The listeners.
Yes, so we are here to talk anime as well as many other things, which we'll get to in a second. But first, make sure that you are following us on Twitch, where we are live every Sunday, 5 p.m. EST, so you can see our lovely faces, and also that of Mako the cat, who is very cute, keeps on, making... I see a shadow Mako on your wall. It goes in front of the light. Oh, man, I'm going to be distracted by this cat all day, aren't I?
He wants this chicken so bad. This is a cat that he'll eat anything. Like, I can feed this cat, I can feed this cat popcorn. He'll eat it. He'll eat green beans. He's deranged. I don't know what's wrong with him, but here we are.
You can also follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Discord for all the latest anime and whatnot conversations. We just wrapped up on our Secret Santa. The grand finale was us talking about all our recommendations last week, and it was so much fun, and thank you to everyone who participated. We'll try to do it again next year, so don't you worry, it'll be coming back. And we also have our new merch store. Woohoo!
Oh, hell yeah.
You can find it at aashop.info, where we have shirts, long sleeves, hats, bottles of water, and a lot of other stuff too. And we'll be thinking of some new design ideas with time and all. But if you want to check out what we have already, it is right there. And what do we have coming up on this episode?
Well, today we're going to be doing... You know what? You should do it.
You got it.
Nope. Caroline, please do it.
Please do what?
Please do the agenda.
Oh, okay. Are you in the middle of something?
I am.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about our favorite characters of 2022. There were a lot of good anime and even better characters, and we're going to be talking about our favorites. And I have put together a little game for today in our rotating topic for Caroline's Game Corner, making its reappearance. We'll talk more about that later, as well as our review of The Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
It's time for big news of the week.
Oh boy, so I know you guys are excited. I'm going to have to take a temperature check on the excitement level for this one after I announce it, but Bastard Onkoku no Hakaishin is getting a second season in 2023, set to premiere worldwide on Netflix. Of course, this is adapting Kazushi Hagiwara's action manga, which originally came out in 1987, and we recently did a review on it a few months ago, and virtually all staff are returning. I posted it in the document, but it's pretty much everybody that you could possibly, right down to like the color designer. They're all coming back, so you can expect the exact same, I guess, everything. Caroline, how excited are we for the sequel of the instant classic Bastard?
Well, as I did not finish the first season, I can't say I am enthusiastic about a second, because I mean, if it does get a second, you will probably pass it, and I will probably have to finish the first season. And to be frank, I'm a little lazy for that.
Mason, how you feeling about it? I know you're jazzed. Come on.
So jazz, so metal, if you will. Actually,
Oh my
It's
God,
more
so metal.
Keeping with the theme. Yeah, so we reviewed this on episode 645, and it was not to my liking. I didn't like this show. I if they're gonna do the show, at least commit to making it as lewd and actual metal as possible. Don't go with this towing the line, like nudity but no nipples. Like,
He wants the nips.
I want the nips. If you're gonna make it so edgy and adult, go all in on it. You know, be campy, be fun. Don't be in this middle ground of lameness. So I really don't want to watch any more of this, but if they do it right, I don't know.
If they bring in the nips, he would consider it.
If they bring the nips and deliver what the people want, then we're talking. But until then, don't talk to me about Bastard.
Look, I don't think I'm gonna pick Bastard for like, you know, a review, but it's the listeners you have to worry about, to be honest. I mean, let's be fair. So the cat finally got what he wanted. I ate all the chicken,
So cute.
and there's just like some liquid in the bottom. But to him, this is the best moment of his life, so it's worth it. All right, who's got whatever next for big news?
I have whatever. Okay, so turns out Sword Art Online, the movie Progressive Scherzo of Deep Night, because they could not make that a longer title. Tickets are now on sale, and it's coming to theaters in February, and fans in the United States and Canada can now start getting them on Fandango for the English dub or subtitled releases. Ticket information for the February 1st release in the United Kingdom and Ireland, and the February 2nd release in Australia and New Zealand will be announced at a later date. So, rejoice, fans of Sword Art Online. The movie is coming.
I mean, are you a big fan of Sword Art Online?
I watched a fair bit of it, and I wouldn't be opposed to watching more seasons of it, because I think I stopped before Alicization, and I heard good things about that, and also I've heard good things about Progressive, but yeah, I figured I kind of watched enough, so I didn't really get back into it.
All right, well, yeah, people love it, and it'll never go away. Sword Art Online will live forever. Mason, what do you got?
I guess we all went with sequels for the big news this week, but my big news is that the Made in Abyss sequel has been kind of announced, that at least it is a thing. So a PV was released on Kadokawa's Anime's official YouTube channel, saying that the sequel to The Golden City of the Scorching Sun, which is the second season of Made in Abyss, will be receiving a sequel anime of some kind. It hasn't been announced if it's a OVA, another series, or a movie. The interesting thing about this is, while I do like Made in Abyss, and despite the last season not being quite what I'm looking for, still want to see more from the series, is that right now, they said it's a thing that will exist, but I don't know where this thing will get its source material from, because each season of Made in Abyss takes about 20 to 25 chapters of manga to adapt, and the movie, Dawn of the Deep Soul, took about 12 chapters. Right now, they have 3 chapters of uncovered material.
Only 3?
Yeah, so the anime got up to chapter
Wow.
60, and the manga is right now has released up to chapter 63. So this, if it does be a sizable piece of content, either movie or anime, still has to wait like a year to get manga material to adapt before they can. I mean, obviously, I don't. Are they gonna try to adapt like alongside it and predict where it's going? Like, are we finally gonna see it overtake the manga in some way? But if they're just saying, "Oh, we have an anime coming eventually," and it's just gonna be 5 years of waiting, why did they tell us now? Like, what purpose did the start? I'm excited. I want to see more Made in Abyss, but wow, they have to be doing some like spin-off something. I don't know what else it could be.
I mean, wasn't there basically 5 years of time between the last two seasons?
Like
Probably. I was like
Was it too late?
2018 or
2018, right?
2022.
I mean,
Okay,
would
so
you?
It
you
was,
got 2018, and then they came out with the movie, and then season 2. So I mean, when you factor in the movie, not bad.
I guess it's really a question of whether or not you would prefer them to wait until the manga is pretty much finished, and then give you an anime that happens more or less all at once, or if you'd rather have it in chunks. So I don't know.
yeah, so the anime was 2017, but I mean, I'm fine with like chunked out material. I don't mind waiting a couple years in between stuff. I just don't know why they're announcing that it's getting more material if they're not going to have anything besides just like a spin-off, unrelated, non-canon type thing for a couple years. I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
Maybe they're just promising that we will get to the anime
Yeah,
sequel
I guess
when
so.
there's content to animate.
New content eventually, says a nebulous promise with a PV that shows no new material. Like, I
We
don't know.
pinky swear.
Regardless, I'll take it to the grave. I can rest my hat knowing that more Made in Abyss is coming, and that does fundamentally make me happy.
It is the kick in the dick that they tell you like so far in advance. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
guess it's a way of keeping your hopes up. You know, don't go read the manga yet. You can just wait it out with more anime, which honestly I much prefer the anime to the manga, considering some of the content and trimming out that they do. So
I
I
guess
will wait patiently.
I guess my thought would be like, was there ever any doubt that there would be more? I mean, it's not like Made in Abyss isn't popular. Of course they were going to make more of it.
Mm.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to wait 5 years, but then again, people probably knew it was coming anyway. Oh boy, and we
Is
all
what
know
it
that
is.
between that, Sword Art Online, and Bastard, we all know what people are really looking forward to. Titties. I mean, come on. Yeah, just kidding. Definitely Made in Abyss, I would say. All right, Caroline.
Oh, I guess it is my turn. Let's talk about our main topic for today, our favorite characters of 2022. So, shall we start at number 10? Because we're going to go, we have ranked it from
Yep.
like 10 to 1. So, I
Yep.
guess we start from the bottom.
I'll go.
Mitsuki, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first, and I won't take long on any one particular pick here. But number 10 for me was Denji from Chainsaw Man. I enjoyed Denji. You know, he's a good source of energy and entertainment and excitement in the Chainsaw Man anime, and it'll be nice to see where Denji goes from here, where his sort of story takes the viewer. I haven't read the manga, so I don't know. I have guesses. It's shonen. It tends to not deviate that much, but it'll be an interesting ride when we get more Chainsaw Man. Hopefully, we won't have to wait so long for that either. But number 10 on my list is Denji.
All right. And Mason.
Yeah, Denji is neat. I will definitely have him on my list later. Next up, a bit of a surprise for me. I thought a lot of the characters this year, not really my thing, I'll be honest. I thought we've had much stronger years with much stronger characters. I mean, there was no one like Otakawa this year. There was no one like the cast from Blue Period. Like, no one was really vibing with me. But I do have to give credit, despite not loving the show, and I haven't seen Core 2 yet, but Anya Forger from Spy Family is kind of just a force of nature for her show and is just fun to watch. Like, the way she just bops around is enjoyable. So as a source of comedy and amusement, Anya Forger makes the list. She's awesome in her own way.
All right. Well, similar to Mason, I also put a Spy X Family character on my list. At number 10, I put Bond, the dog from Spy X Family.
Yeah.
Mostly just because of his borfs. And as Mason said, like, there have been stronger years with stronger characters, and that might be the reason why I put a dog on the list. But Bond is just so cute, and I love him and his borfs.
Borf,
So
borf.
yes, he makes at least number 10.
Is he a?
I honestly almost put two dogs on my list. I almost had Pochita from Chainsaw Man, and I almost
Yeah,
had.
but he wasn't. Okay, I can see that definitely, but he was barely in the anime.
He was barely in the show. There's another show that is like a super short. It's like Doomsday with Your Dog. It's like a 3-minute anime. But there's like
Oh yeah,
a
you mentioned that one.
Shiba Inui like named Haru-san who just like has the most optimistic and factual and also depressing like quips ever. And it's actually not a bad show, but there's not much to it. But there are some good doggos out there, and I am excited to see Bond when we review it next week.
Since you said borf,
Wait, it's
borf.
next week? I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
next week is
Yeah.
our Core 2 Spy Family review. Before we get into impressions.
Since you said borf, borf, I just assumed it was a corgi, because I think
No, he's like a big white dog. But he's just has so much girth, I guess. That he goes borf.
All right. I just find it weird. Like, even in English, we have different like bark noises for different breeds. You know, I don't know. I just
I
confuses me.
never associated borf with corgis.
I think it is one of the corgi ones. Anyway, moving on. Number 9 on my list is Hana from Aoashi. Really enjoyed Hana. You know, she wasn't the focus of Aoashi, but she was still a good character, and you know cares a lot about Ashito, and I think she's going to be important as the series goes on. And just a nice girl that wants to help and
And let's
made a
face
connection.
it, you are a sucker for a good nutrition list.
I'm a sucker for Hana.
Yeah, that's true.
That was a pretty detailed meal plan she had put together. So, you know, here I am eating a raw, skinless chicken breast at the torment of my cat. And if I only had a Hana to make my meal plans for me, I would have a
Only you had a Hana to let you know you have to cook your chicken breast.
Yeah, I'm eating it raw. Duh. Gains, bro.
The salmonella flavoring is really
Yeah.
what you don't get that with other beefs.
I can feel it crawling around in my stomach. All right, who's next? Mason.
Ew.
Next up, I was really struggling
wait.
with this.
There's a food reference, which is a very unused rule in my jelly bean game. So I was surprised. Food reference, jelly bean. Let's go. Sorry,
There we
continue.
go. Nice.
Oh my
No, it's
gosh,
fine.
Mako's cleaning himself. So cute.
Yeah, people love watching cats clean themselves, so I'm giving you some cat cam here on Twitch. If you were on the Twitch, you would see the cat, but since you're just listening to the podcast with audio only, you are you're just hurting yourself, really. Sad.
True, you're missing out. I guess they could watch it on YouTube as well, but
Nobody
no
wants
one
to see
does
me
that.
anyway. I'm just a bald son of a bitch.
Yeah, I was about to say, speaking of bald son of bitches, and then I was like, this person is not neither. This is Akebi, the self-titled character from Akebi's Sailor Uniform, a show that was kind of strange with its like uncanny valley effect with how they were portrayed, they being the characters, and this kind of like half anime, half hyper visualized realistic looks with these like super detailed environments that were awesome. And reflecting on kind of what the show had to offer, I really do think that Akebi was a very simple character in just her buoyancy, in her charm, in her desire to live the life that she wants to live, and kind of pulling people up into her wake of excitement. That was kind of exactly the show, or the character that show needed, and I appreciated her for it, and just had good vibes. And sometimes we just need that in the show. So once again, didn't love the show, but I think Akebi's pretty solid.
Akebi.
All right. My number 9, similar to Mason's views on the character, mine is Chisato from Licorice Recoil. So, like, Licorice Recoil was an okay show. It had its problems. Some things were good about it, some things weren't. But Chisato was a very, pleasant character to be the main character. She was Genki, but not to the point of being annoying. She was also a badass. And, just overall enjoyable to watch. Also, like, they got the witty banter with her and what's her name? Like her partner. And yeah, overall, just I remember enjoying watching her, but unfortunately, I actually can't really remember too much. So I put her at number 9.
So I obviously was out this week when you guys watched the show, but I remember Chisato getting a lot of love, especially in like the Japan character rankings that were coming out weekly. Like people were really about the Chisato game, and I'm happy to hear she kind of had the hype. I only watched one episode, and it's like I don't have time to watch more, but
Yeah.
yeah, okay, cool. What you got, Mitz?
All right. Well, for me, my number 8 is also Chisato.
What?
So, she's just very ganky, fun. I mean, she's the best character in that anime, that's for sure. So, absolutely nothing about her was realistic whatsoever, including dodging bullets. But, she was a pretty fun character. I enjoyed her. Last name's weird as shit. Nishikigi. I don't know where they came up with that name. It just feels weird. Feels odd. But she's a good character, worthy of the hype probably. I can't say necessarily the same about the entire anime, but I did like Chisato as a character. So back to Mason.
Speaking of back to Mason, back to Mitz, I agree with his number 10 pick. Denji is my number 8 character of the year. Similar thoughts about him with Akebi. Not the most complex, three-dimensional character out there, but his simplicity is kind of what is the spear point of all the craziness that follows in Chainsaw Man. And I like what his stupid dreams and desires are. I like how those very immature, juvenile messages and themes are kind of the point of the show and how it's used in different ways. Obviously, I've read the manga. I know where it goes. I kind of like his whole arc, and I hope he continues to just be a charming little gremlin that some of us can get behind. So I like Denji.
Just don't feed him after midnight.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so my number 8 pick is surprisingly Sid from The Eminence in Shadow. So I failed Eminence in Shadow. It was like not good enough to get the pass, but it has some very surprising moments of humor that honestly it makes it good. It's not consistent enough, but The Eminence in Shadow is a damn good show. Okay, and then you have Sid as the main character, very bland-looking, black-haired isekai MC with that's just overpowered. But he is also a little bit of a gremlin in ways, I guess. He is just a very interesting character in that he does not realize that everything that's happening around him is real. Like he has this this belief that he's just in this role-playing scenario where he's just pretending to be the Eminence in Shadow, not realizing that he is the Eminence in Shadow, and everything going on around him is real, and it's not a game that he and his, I guess he would consider them friends, are playing. So he will just do these so stupid things where he's like, I know where the villains are. So he throws a knife at a map. He's like, oh shit, I missed where I was trying to throw it. And it just so happens that they are where he threw it anyway. So it just, he just puts on this act, and he kind of drops that act when we get into his perspective. And it's just so entertaining. So he's my number 8 pick.
I haven't seen that show, but is it all like Sakamoto, where like he fails into brilliance?
No, I wouldn't say it's all like that. I mean, there's certainly some moments of that, but it's mostly just it's really hard to describe because it is a show of extremes. Sometimes it can be a little bit boring. Other times it's just him trying to go to magic school and to keep his alter ego a secret, which apparently he thinks is just a game, but he actually is his alter ego. It doesn't make any sense, but it's pretty funny.
Oh, nice.
Alrighty then. Number 7 for me was Power from Chainsaw Man also. And I don't think I'm alone. As I recall, Power was the favorite character from Chainsaw Man. Mason's nodding yes.
I would agree with that. I don't agree personally, but I think that's the fan consensus.
I mean, I think it's just because everything Power does in that show is just meant to be entertaining. Like, she's just like a psychotic goofball who, I don't know, if she ever did anything without threatening somebody or like, I mean, she's the person that would like slice the vending machine open rather than just putting the damn quarters in it. Or if she put quarters in it and it ate her money, look out, because it ain't gonna end well. So Power's a good character, and that's number 7.
Power would be like, oh, this machine ate my quarters, I'm gonna eat the machine, and then actually do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Number 7 for me is Fudo Aikawa from Love After World Domination. I had to put our dumb little dense Red Ranger boy in here, just because I think he hits too close to home. I think I'd be similar in my density of dating and being like, oh, we should eat protein bars because protein bars have all the supplements you need to be strong, and you can't neglect protein even on a date. And yeah, I don't know. He's just, once again, a character fitting of the show he was in, and charming, and just really just one of the classic good boys. And we'll have a couple of those on the list, and we just love our good boys on this show. So
He is a classic good boy. I agree. So number 7 on my list is Ishigami from Kaguya-sama Love is War, ultra romantic. Because, I mean, he's always been a pretty good boy for the most part. But in this most recent season, it kind of got more into his story with trying to find love for himself. And he is also pretty relatable. And I can't remember if this happened in this season or it happened in the season before that. But here we have Ino, like the girl with the weird pigtails. And so she's like listening to music. And then Ishigami's like, well, you're listening to music? And she's like, it's healing music. It makes me feel good while I'm doing my homework or whatever. She doesn't realize that her headphones aren't plugged in all the way. And he realizes that that she's listening to, I don't know, some sort of weird smut that kind of like makes like complimenting her. And it's really weird and very embarrassing, and people start trying to come into the student council room, and he's throwing himself under the bus trying to save her from embarrassment. And I'm like, that is a boy deserving of love. So yes, he's number 7.
I'm like 85% sure that was this season.
Yeah, so we're gonna go with that.
You had me
It
smut.
was like, it's not really smut, it's more like, princess, you're doing great today. Keep it up. Your hair looks majestic. And you just keep that attitude. Keep that chin held high. You're doing great, love.
Yeah, I
like,
couldn't remember how dirty it got or not.
It's
I wasn't sure if it got dirty.
self-affirming stuff by Bar Boys.
It's like,
hey girl.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember clearly if it got like a little sensual or not. But yeah, that's kind of what I was going for.
alrighty then. Speaking of
Creamy mommy?
number
Stop
6.
it!
Hey, you lay the groundwork, and I just put him in place. You know what I'm saying? So number 6 on the list is Marin Kitagawa, mostly Marin Kitagawa in a bikini. So yeah, because she's pretty much in a bikini the entire show. So, and that's Marin Kitagawa. What are you gonna say? She's the waifu war winner. She's the Miss Teen Queen, Miss the queen. She queen of blue balls. She queen of cosplay. She queen of sex appeal. No one can match Marin Kitagawa and her 300 earrings. So we're going with that. I mean, come on.
She was a good character. She was fun. You'd want to hang around her. She'd be cool.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, she's fun as fuck. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, number 6 is Marin.
Not so fun as fuck as Marin is David Martinez from Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Just a tragic story of a boy in a big city trying his best to get his family on the right track, not die, not be tread under the heel of this governmental military system that just puts people through the ringer and
send his girlfriend to the moon.
Yeah.
Wow, right in the kisser.
Just a good story of a guy trying to do his best in a rough system, and one of my favorites. I like David. He was
That's an understatement,
pretty
man.
good. He was
I
pretty
liked
cool.
him in the first half. The second half made me not like him as much, unfortunately.
That's
Yeah, when he turns into a juiced out gorilla.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of those.
Yo, juiced out roid raging men or gorillas.
a little bit of both.
Harambe, man. Okay.
Cocaine
How
bear.
can I not?
mean,
Not expecting Caroline to say Harambe in 2023.
Okay, let's get to
Snacks.
my number 6. I put down Ushio from Summertime Rendering because she is super cool. I love her. She is witty and sassy, and she can do cool things with her hair. No tresemme needed. And yeah, even if she
Tresemme.
is
Ooh la la.
yeah, even if she is a shadow person, Ushio is cool, and I love her. And she was one of my waifus of the year, so I'm putting her as number 6.
All right. Well, in that case, we're down to the top 5.
Number 5.
Number 5 for me, Ashito Aoi from Aoashi. I enjoyed Ashito quite a lot. I thought he changed a lot from the beginning to the end of the season. Ended on a high note for him personally. I thought, it wasn't always glamorous in that first season, but he started to figure his shit out and even made a girl smile. So it's not so bad. And I'm looking forward to seeing where Ashito and Hana go. They're probably gonna get married. So
You put a lot of hope into their relationship,
Well-
forgetting that this is anime, and they will probably not kiss until the very end of the show.
This is shown in anime.
yeah, they may not kiss at all, but one can hope. So Ashito Aoi, number 5.
I feel like good characters tend to come from good shows that I really connected with in one way or another, which I probably liked because the show was so good. This one was a show I was very mixed on for a lot of reasons, one being the frankly horrendous visuals in a lot of ways. But my number 5 pick is Kotaro Sato from the eponymous Kotaro Lives Alone. This aired on Netflix, and this is a very weird-looking show about this 4-year-old kid who lives alone, hence the title,
No.
in this apartment complex, and he just drops these life lesson bombshells on these people, and it's just this like little nugget boot of wisdom that tells these really sad stories, and you're like, ooh, that hurt my feels, my heart. Ooh, it's so good. And the show was whatever, but I really liked Kotaro. He played off a lot better than I was expecting, both in sub and dub. And of course, a 4 or 5-year-old would never actually act like this. I get that it's not the realistic character choice, but nonetheless, I like how he was utilized and the impact he had. So it was pretty solid.
Okay, looks like I have Marin from My Dress Up Darling on my
Nuh-uh.
list at number 5. Yes.
High 5.
Because
Boom.
Yay.
There you go.
Woo! Similar to Ushio, she's just a queen, and she is so fun. And what more can be said? We talked about Marin all year because people just love her that much. So I feel like saying anything more would just be a broken record. She's just cool, so she's number 5.
The only thing I can think of when I see Marin is Mokuri-chan's. So there you go.
Jelly bean.
Yeah. Yeah. You
High
eat your jelly
five.
bean. Yeah, it's very nice. That's my wife, third best prostitute in all Kazakhstan. Yes. Oh,
What?
come on, Caroline. Caroline's like
Borat?
Borat. Come on. All right.
No,
The slow shaking of the head, like.
Number 4. Speaking of Mokuri-chan's. Roxanne from Harem Isekai. From Harem in Another World Isekai. Because Roxanne was so hot. She was really the waifu of the year. It's just that the waifu war happened before Roxanne was even a twinkle in anybody's eye. But yeah, I mean,
I saw one episode of this show, and
Yeah.
I don't really see what the big whoop is about Roxanne. Just gonna say it. She
Well.
just looks like big-breasted anime girl number 5,673.
You
Wow.
nailed it. That's why
That's-
she's number 4. What are you not connecting?
there's a very simple explanation for why you don't get it, Caroline. And the
Why?
answer is that you don't have a penis. So that's pretty much.
I
the
was gonna
reason.
say she's not a dog person, but that works too.
You're not a dog person. She might borf
I
for you if
like
you ask
dogs.
her.
I would just prefer.
Yeah,
them
you
to
guys
be
both have a
dogs
dog on
and
your
not
list now.
Big-breasted women.
Big-breasted is not really the word I would use to describe Roxanne.
Voluptuous.
Dekai Kyonyu, just sweltering sweater puppies.
What does that mean?
Yes.
You and the dog
You get another
references.
jelly bean.
That's a
Congratulations.
story for another time, Caroline. For another time. Mason, what is number 4?
Number 4, probably one of the best girls of the year for me. Someone you just wanted to cheer for every time, and she just brought the thunder, brought the energy. Was Eiko Tsukimi from Ya Boy, Kongming.
It's your
She
boy.
was the idol that Kongming made the contract with, who was like, I'm going to elevate you to greatness. And she was just awesome. She was realistically skeptical of this strange costumed man and what he was going to do, but she had trust, she had faith, she just put in a lot of effort. She was always running, she was always practicing and trying to be the best that she could be, and you just wanted her to really succeed, and I really liked her for it. She was just a bunch of fun.
She was a good character. Yes, I agree.
And she wore a silly hat, and that's always a good sign.
On my list, I also have Anya from Spy X Family, similar to
Oh.
Mason, because she is so funny in so many different ways. And we got her both in the first core and the second core, so she really took up a lot of attention in 2022. And yeah, even though you say what you will about Spy X Family, say it's not as interesting as it makes itself out to be, say it's overhyped, blah, 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 Anya is a star, and she is so funny, and that's why she's number 4.
I, once again, haven't seen the second core of this, and especially speaking, not getting too ahead of ourselves, but there was also a young girl in The Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2 that we're going to talk about. And really comparing those two characters, like, Anya is used for comedy, but in so many different ways. It's not always, haha, she's cute, and that's why it's funny. Like, her range of how she's utilized is impressive in a lot of ways. And I think that's what makes her appealing and charming and realistic, despite all the surrealism that's going on. So, yeah.
All right, Mitsuki, what you got?
Number 3.
Say what you want. Talk all the shit you want. Bring all the heat. Bring all the thunder. I'm ready for it because number 3 is Dark Schneider. Dark
How's he number
Schneider.
1 for you?
I thought he was going to play the man gif again.
See, the thing is about Dark Schneider is that we can call him a chauvinist. We can call him a bad guy. We can call him overly obsessed with his own penis because he clearly was. As you're never going to see an anime again where a man literally is laying on the ground crying because his penis is gone. I mean, you neither of you, regardless of what you think of Dark Schneider, will ever forget Dark Schneider in your whole
He was
life.
entertaining.
So he deserves to make the list because he is, I don't know, sort of one of a kind in a way. So,
Mitsuki,
yes.
how much money would you pay to have a Dark Schneider Roxanne crossover?
Like where Dark Schneider and Roxanne come together in the same universe.
Use your imagination.
I mean, take my money. I mean, honestly. You know,
Like, we
you
gotta
know.
see if there's that already exists in like a hentai dojin or something. We'll do a reading of that on our bonus episodes.
I mean, interest
Oh,
rates
I'm sure everyone would want that.
are at a 20-year high, whatever. I don't really care. You know what? If I have to mortgage the house, if I have to take out a massive loan with exorbitant interest rates to make it happen, by God, I'll do it. Because if Dark Schneider has any chance to score with a woman in this entire universe of anime, it is Roxanne. That is his best bet. Because she is in fact a sex slave, so it's pretty much the only chance he has. So, and plus he has no penis anymore. It was blown off. It's a war casualty. He'll get the Purple Heart to go along with the blue balls. All right, Mason.
Number 3. Throwing it back to the very beginning of the year, we had a little show that ran over from 2021 into 2022. I got to go with Bocchi from Ranking of Kings. He's just our boy. He's just our good boy.
Man.
And do I wish the ending was a little bit better? Do I wish they utilized him in different ways? Sure, but his growth, he was just so precious from the beginning. I think single-handedly the scene of him cooking that like purple gloop that killed everybody, but him tasting it and thinking it was the greatest thing ever is seared into my bones. I love that scene so much, and I love Bocchi, and he's great. Him and Kage's relationship was really heartwarming. So Ranking of Kings, gotta give it some props.
You know,
Yeah, for whatever reason, I kind of didn't consider it on this list, putting Bocchi, because it was kind of in 2021 and 2022.
Yeah, I struggled though.
I think it does count, but if I probably should have put him on my list, to be honest.
I tried so hard to be like, I'm not going to do any sequels. I'm not going to do any shows from like a while ago. And I failed miserably. My top 3 are all like older shows like Ranking of Kings or like a sequel in a kind of way. So I failed, but what you going to do? Not bow down to Bocchi supremacy?
I think Bocchi would have made my list too if I had considered him. I didn't really. Well, I was looking at our like review document to get all the stuff we'd watched, and Ranking of Kings, I guess it was probably in 2021, and I didn't see it. Otherwise, Bocchi would probably end up like in the 6-7 range in that case, and in which case you can push Denji off the list. But Bocchi's pretty great. I mean, he's definitely a top 10 character in any year, for sure. So yeah. I mean,
number 3 on my list. It's Kong Ming himself from ya boy Kong Ming.
It's ya boy.
Yeah, because I do like Eiko. She's great, but seriously, you can't get a better person than Kong Ming himself with his outfits, his just ability to join in the party crowd so easily, and his ability to also stay in that strategic mindset in the meantime. Like, he has it all. He has the party life. He has the work life. He just does it all, and he looks awesome doing it. And yeah, he was just such a fun character.
And he's got great dance moves.
He does.
He's the ideal of like work-life swag balance. He's got it all in perfect feng shui-etude.
Yes, absolutely.
Number 2.
Number 2 on my list is also it's ya boy Kong Ming, Zhuge Liang, 5,000 IQ, coming in with the swag. He's the man. He can dance, and all the ladies love him. Women love him, and men want to be him.
It's true.
Let's be honest, okay? So yeah, I mean, Caroline said it all. Zhuge Liang. Zhuge Liang!
Why do you always say Liang as if it's French?
Oh ho ho! I don't know. Because I can't speak Mandarin. I don't know.
No one's here to stop him.
I'm doing my best. Okay. I'm just a man, flesh and blood, just like you.
I'm trying, boss. My number 2. Gotta give it up for my girl. Once again, maybe not deserving of the spot, based solely on her 2022 OVA, but nonetheless, Akashi from Tatami Time Blues. I never thought we would get a sequel to anything from the Tatami universe, and Akashi, she's up on my wall right there. She's just the best. I love her. The faces she makes when she eats, just the weird way she looks at people, and the way she just communicates and gets along with our MC. is just amazing. Akashi is just, ooh, I love her so much, and I can't believe that this show was as good as it was. So watch Tommy Time Blues if you haven't watched it. It's awesome.
Number 2 on my list is a recent newcomer because I
Wow.
just got into To Your Eternity Season 2. Second on my list, it's Bond because he is a little bit like Kongming in that he has this very he's a showmanship kind of guy, and he is so fun and funny. And like there are a couple things about him that kind of make me question like, is he actually a villain? But I don't care because Bond is just like a good guy throughout a lot of the show. And at first I was thinking, oh, he's going to be annoying and I'm not going to like this guy. No, he's awesome. And he really makes season 2 worthwhile. So he's number 2.
All right, are we ready for number 1?
I don't know if I can handle it.
Number 1.
Oh man, what could it possibly be? All expectations are subverted. All predictions are wrong. Number 1 on the list is Gara from Bastard. Ankoku no Haikin Shosho blah blah blah. The one of the generals of the Dark, Schneider. He controls an army of 1,000 ninjas and holds the title of Ninja Master. Come on. Gara was like the shit. He was like cool fight scenes, cool attitude, funny lines, without all the, ass grabbing. And, yeah, I just loved Gara. He was like my man. And he
wasn't like halfway a 9-year-old.
Yeah, yep. And he still has his penis, so it wasn't blown off in battle. And I don't know. I just liked Gara a lot. He was fun, and I love his ninjas. They're so dumb. They're like, oh look, here comes the undead army or whatever. Oh my god, the ninjas are so stupid. And Gara is pretty sweet, and not Gara from Naruto. That's witches.
The Sandman.
Yeah. All right.
Number 1 for me. Once again, really trying not to do sequels. Couldn't help it. And while it is a character from the show, it really might as well be every character from the show. But it is Shigeo Kageyama, a.k.a. Mob, from Mob Psycho 100, Season 3.
Wow.
He is just, best boys are eternal, and seeing the conclusion to his story, seeing the relationship, both professional and school-wise, of friendship with his brother, Reagan, Dimple, all his friends, just, I love the workout club, the body improvement club, the way and connections he makes with the supernatural club that recruit him, all the shenanigans they get up to. Was it my favorite season? No. But Mob this is the last year. We'll get him. No more Mob. It is sad. It's heartbreaking.
Mabu.
So we gotta send him out on top. Yeah, Mabu. So yeah, gotta go with Shigeo. He's awesome.
Well, for my number 1 spot, I had to give it to my waifu of 2022.
Oh boy.
It's Desumi from
Yes.
Love After World Domination. She is hot. Nobody's not going to say that. But she's also so sweet. And she's also working for evil, technically. And you got to love that dichotomy where she's just so nice. She has this cat who's always looking out for her. She's a cat girl. And she loves Fudo. They just love to be together.
Fudanari?
And you love to see it. What?
Don't worry about it. You'd be glad you didn't hear it. Just keep on trucking.
No. What did you say?
I said Fudanari.
I still don't know what that is.
That's when a...
Really? That was what Pancake described to you last episode.
I guess I just blocked it out of my mind.
When a girl in a hentai... When a girl character in a hentai grows like... never mind. Grows a banana in a place that... You wouldn't expect
now I remember. Okay. Yeah, now I remember. Anywho, so she is just I know I've been using the same words over and over again, but she's just so cool, and I want to be friends with her. And so that's why I placed her at number 1.
But does she control an army of 1,000 ninjas?
I mean, she controls an army of like hundreds of minions. I can't say I can speak to their.
They're dressed like skeletons. That's
yeah.
gotta count for something.
She
Her
also
branding is awesome.
She also wields like that spiky ball thing. You just like toss it around.
The mace.
Yeah, the mace.
It's more of a flail, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know my medieval.
Yeah, I guess it is.
My medieval weapons. My
the mace is
weapons
attached to the stick. The flail's got the chains.
I think that Desumi's like inept sort of minion army and Gaara's ninjas, they'd probably become like really good friends.
Crossover. Let's do it.
They'd be fighting and they'd be like, wait a second. Why are we fighting? We're basically the same. Yeah.
Yeah, so her eagerness just to have a normal schoolgirl life and to follow her dreams, but no, she has to be involved in the random generic evil organization. It's relatable. So yeah, that's another reason why I put her at number 1.
Number 1. All right, well that's it. Very good lists. Very good choices.
Let's hope for better characters in 2023.
You can't pick every character, but you can struggle to pick the best 10. Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
It was really hard to organize, like who's going to inch above the other. But needless to say, that was a good discussion. And let's get into our in-show weekly trivia question.
That was fast. Okay, let's do it.
In the anime The Devil's Part-Timer, the devil works at McDonald's, but they don't call it McDonald's. What do they call it? And we'll give you the answer after the news break.
Hey Anime Addicts, Mitsuki's here and I'm bringing you your anime news break. Getting us started off with news come from Belarus, which is very unusual. The government of Belarus has recently passed a law on January 3rd permitting residents of the country to access audio and visual media and computer software without the consent of copyright holders from quote-unquote unfriendly nations, of which Japan is part of. The new law will be in effect until December 2024. Therefore, the government of Belarus has effectively legalized piracy of anime and software that comes from Japan and other countries, which is just wild. So it's just government-sanctioned illegal activity. So leave it to Belarus to do the unthinkable. Next up in the news, an anime adaptation. Kai to Tomi to Kamikakushi is going to be getting an anime adaptation. The manga by Nujima. This was reported by Kadokawa recently. The synopsis is a story of a small friendship and a parting of ways throughout a number of strange occurrences and modern-day bizarre Romanesque with a piercing combination of weirdness, girls, and sexuality. Definitely a weird-looking anime. We'll have to see what this is all about when the mystery supernatural property comes out later on this year, and it's getting its 5th volume of manga released on the 12th of January, which already happened. So if you're a fan of this property, go check out the new manga. Next up, the Anime Dormitory Project, which we talked about quite some time ago. It launches in 2023, and there's a crowdfunding campaign for it now. The Animation Supporters nonprofit organization launched this 2023 crowdfunding campaign to provide housing for 10 new animators. The campaign goal is $30,000 US. The organization is also planning to hire animators for music video projects with a fixed salary rather than a by-piece rate. So if you go to the Go Get Funding website, you can actually view how much money this crowdfunding project has raised. And currently it's about $7,000, which is 23% funded, but it has just started, so we'll have to see how this goes as it pans out. And I would note that it's pretty sad that we have to use crowdfunding to actually provide housing for animators because they're so low paid. It's just bizarre to me. Next up in the news, the manga Tsuki na Ko ga Megane o Wasureta, translated as The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses, is getting a TV anime in 2023. The desk mate of Ai Mie, Kaede, always has his attention fixed on her. He's attracted to her cute charms, and he wishes that she would look at him too with, her beautiful eyes or whatever. But just a few days after making her acquaintance, Kaede notices something different about Ai. Her eyes are squinting, and her glasses are missing. But he still finds her adorable. So, rom-com coming out. So this is done by Fuji Chica, who began drawing this slice of life rom-com manga back in 2018. There is a 10th volume that came out. It's coming out on January 20th, so quite a lot of volumes out. So if you're a fan of rom-coms, look out for The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses, and the manga scheduled to premiere in 2023. This was Mitsuki, and this was your anime news break, and now let's get back to the podcast.
What in the anime hell is this? The podcast is launching an Amazon affiliates page. This better not be some scam.
This is the Pope.
Yo, Pope. This is Anime Satan. What's this I hear about an Amazon affiliates page?
Oh, hey, Mr. S. Well, when people buy things off Amazon, if they use these links, the podcast receives earnings. It might help us fund our podcast merchandise store, buy Caroline jelly beans, or even
Conquer the world?
Yeah, something like that. Why don't you just go visit the website, www.supporttheaddicts.com, and see what all we have.
Sure, why not? I'll head over to www.supporttheaddicts.com just for you, Pope. Say, when are you coming down for a visit? Let's do tea.
Soon, Anime Satan. Very soon. Remember, before you go to Amazon to shop, don't forget to stop at www.supporttheaddicts.com.
And now, great moments in Anime Addicts Anonymous history.
Faye's also a little too. She's a little on the she's a vanishing person. There's just not a whole lot there too. I think she lives off cigarettes, if you know what I mean. There's not a lot to grab onto.
No handles to hold when you're going at it from behind.
Can you see how delicate I am? I try to say it, and then Pancake comes in and she says it for me. This is a fucking great arrangement.
It is.
You said what I was thinking.
I know.
I just didn't want to say it, so you said it.
Of course.
But it's okay if you say it.
Of course, yeah.
Perfect.
Because I have a vagina.
There's not
You can't
enough
say it
to
'cause you
hold.
have a penis.
To
Yeah.
grab onto.
Yeah, you need those handles. You want those back dimples.
You want the cake on the beach, the
Yeah.
sand on the booty.
Yeah. You don't want to slap the ass and go ting.
Ting.
You want a little bit of a wubba wubba.
Wubba, 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 wubba. Yeah. Perfect. High five.
High five.
There you go. Ron Jeremy. He's unfurling. Welcome back to the podcast. That was worth a jelly bean too, but
Not really.
Caroline just tanked it.
yeah. I mean, never mind. In the anime, the devil is a part-timer. The devil works at McDonald's, but they don't call it McDonald's in the anime. What do they call it?
Mig Ronald.
Mig Ronald's. Wow. I can't blame McDonald's for not wanting to have their name associated with the only anime that tastes worse than their food.
Yeah. Well, let's head into Caroline's game corner for, I don't know, just a small game. This was not a ton of work went into this one, so my apologies. But I figured we should do a little something. So we are going to be playing categories. So I'm sure people have played this game before. Like, you pick a category and you go back and forth giving examples for each category, and whoever is the first one that can't think of anything for that category or repeat something that was already said loses the round. So we have 3 categories
God.
here of varying quality.
I'm screwed.
So yeah, this is going to be between Mason and Mitsugi, so I can play judge. And we will start with category number 1, which is anime animals.
Animals?
So, yes, you have to think of animals that are in
Okay.
anime. You have
This
to
could
give
go
their
on
name.
forever.
Well, that depends if you can actually think of the animals, you know?
Can I write them down?
No, this is the whole point of the game. You got to go back and forth.
All right, I won't write anything down. All right, I'll begin. Poir. He's the flying cat from Dragon Ball.
Do we have to go like realistic animals? Can I say like
Actual
Totoro?
animals, not like magical animals. We're doing real animals.
Okay, I'm going Ein from Cowboy Bebop.
Buta Don from Silver Spoon.
Oh, like how realistic? Like is Chopper from One Piece? Like he's kind of like a
Is he even a real animal?
Hamtaro. Let's go with Hamtaro.
Okay.
This is gonna take an hour. Cheese from
I don't know.
From,
I'm running out so quickly.
Chi from Chi Sweet Home.
Sadaharu, that like massive dog from Gintama.
Oolong, Dragon Ball.
Bond from Spy Family.
Did we say that mythical animals were allowed?
They have to be an actual animal. An
An
animal that
actual
you would
animal.
see here. Which, I don't know. Sadaharu is like a massive dog, so actually, I don't know if that counts.
He's a big doggo.
He's an alien dog.
Like a Clifford dog?
Yeah.
He's not Clifford size.
He's a
Nyanko
pretty
Sensei
big.
from Natsume Yujinsho. Like, sure,
Yeah,
he
whatever.
can transform into a big god, but
I'm leaving. I'm just gonna let Caroline be the judge. 'Cause I don't even know who the hell you're talking about. So, do we continue?
Let's do a couple more rounds, and then I'll kind of, stop it there because it is kind of a bit.
I'm running out.
It's subjective, I suppose.
No one in anime is realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, we're continuing. Luna from Sailor Moon.
What's the other one from Sailor Moon?
It's a great question.
Let's go. Let's be cheating. Let's do the panda from Polar Bear Cafe.
All right, let's do the panda from Ramna, 1/2.
Let's do the polar bear from Polar Bear Cafe.
I feel like every freaking anime has a cat.
Let's do the penguin from Polar Bear Cafe.
Wait, I have not been paying attention to my jelly beans, and you guys definitely said anime that I've never seen before, so I'm just gonna take a
I thought you threw that rule out.
No, that's part of the rules.
All right, how about
honestly, this round I feel like it's kind of lost. It's hard to.
We both lose.
Pen
We both
Pen
lose.
from
Next one.
Evangelion?
You
I
guys
mean, this.
both win. I'll give that one a tie. Okay.
Yes, yes, I'll take it. I'll
Okay.
take it. I scored on Mason. It was a tie, but I'll
Second
take it. God damn it.
category. The second category is isekais. You have
Oh,
to
for
name
fuck's
isekais.
sake! There's a trillion of them.
Sword Art
Let's
Online.
see how long you go. I mean, I'm here.
Oh
I'll
my
be here forever.
god. I mean, okay. I mean, even 12 Kingdoms is an isekai. 12 Kingdoms.
No Game, No Life.
Oh my god. Reincarnated as a slime. We're not doing sequels, are we?
No.
No. Shield Hero.
ReZero.
The Isekai Magician. Isn't that one of them?
I don't know. Maybe. There's.
Probably. I
I'll
thought
give
that
it to
was
you.
one of them. It was just called like Isekai something.
Jobless Reincarnation.
Misfit of Demon King Academy.
That's not an isekai.
No.
Oh.
Nope.
Is it not?
He kills. He reincarnates himself as but as a baby, but it's the same world.
Oh, okay. We'll call it.
So
then.
I'll give that to Mitsuki then.
Oh my god, it's a
Perfect.
miracle. This is literally never gonna happen again.
I was trying to think of all the Isekai ones we've done. I was like, oh, the
I mean-
strongest hero one. It doesn't matter. Okay.
I will
next
say
one.
I am for better or for worse, mostly for the worst. I am kind of the isekai guy.
Yeah.
The
you want-
Ise guy.
I mean, which means that I'm constantly inflicting pain upon both of you, and I do apologize.
Perfect. Mitz gets that win.
Okay, so here's the last category where you can somehow see if you can inch ahead here, Mason, because right now it's 2-1. Let's head into common ways of inserting fan service.
What? This is
Think of all the
insane.
ways. Yeah, I know, it's very specific.
Oh my
Just
god.
thinking of all the tropes, everything that happens that would result in fan service.
Who would-
Don't-
I'll go
I told you I whipped this
I'll
up
go
in 5
first.
minutes, okay?
I'll go first. a guy falling and landing in a girl's boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you approve of that one?
She's like, yes, very true,
Yeah.
That's
very
the point
true.
for me. I'll take the point.
Yeah, be faster with it.
I'm thinking like more nebulous, like, oh, the upskirt shot, but like,
I mean,
can't.
I would take that.
But that sounds like super specific, you know. Sure, fine, take that one. I have nothing.
I mean, I was gonna say the Agent Ica up the skirt from like the bottom of the cockpit shot, which is so stupid. Random beach episodes where everybody's in a bikini all the time.
The Gynax, the boob jiggle physics.
Jeez, I mean, honestly, you can get so minute with this.
Yeah.
Kintaro watching a girl
was about to say
grind sexually on
clean.
her motorcycle.
I was just gonna say any like
Caroline liked
tight,
that one.
tight-fitting like plug suit.
How about like just the most unnecessarily aggressive tentacles coming out of freaking nowhere and just ripping a friggin' shirt off and just exposing the huge Kyonyu?
That happens.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's go with just any like hot spring scene.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You took my hot springs?
I took your hot springs.
Tight-fitting swimsuits at school.
It's kind of
No, I feel like that. I feel like no. We've already done beach. We already done hot spring. I feel like you have not picked an actual trope.
All right.
So
I'm happy to give it
say
to
that's a
Mason.
tie. Do you want to do a little tiebreaker?
Not really.
Sure. No. Let's end the suffering. This is fun though.
Okay, well, I guess both being winners is pretty good. And honestly,
damn
I'm
right
sorry.
it is.
That game was not really well thought out. I'm sorry. It's hard to think of anime-themed games.
No, it's fine. There's like so many isekai to choose from. I was just like, I was like trying to think of like what have we done most recently and work our way backwards. But
There's so many isekais, and we could have gone forever. Like, honestly, like, you know, in the Hobby Addicts, I talked about Army of Darkness, right? Because I just discovered Army of Darkness, and I think it's incredible. That's a fucking isekai. I mean, the evil book literally sucks him into, like, medieval wherever. I mean, it's, like, just hilarious.
Mason, you didn't even say Sunny Boy.
I mean, I wasn't,
He
like,
was holding
in my
his
mind,
pocket.
I was thinking, like, Grimgar. I was thinking, like,
Yeah, that's a
Childless
good one.
Reincarnation. Like, I was thinking, you know, which ones to go down the line, and I was just like, which ones have we done recently? I was like, oh, the Genius Prince, whatever one, there's so many. My mind was got confuzzled.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so difficult.
Exactly.
And also because there was never really like you can't say like, oh, the categories, colors, and you know that's pretty clear cut. What's a color? You know, or countries. That's clear cut. But yeah, I did not really think of clear cut categories, unfortunately.
No worries. It was fun. Thank you for putting it together.
You're welcome. So I believe we have some mailbags.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag. Anime.
Mailbag. All right, if you want to leave a mailbag, you can go to www.com/mailbag. And while you're there, you can do all sorts of things at the mailbag URL. You can submit topic requests. You can submit hentai topic requests. You can submit review requests. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. Just enjoy yourself and being able to participate in the podcast. This one comes from Mochi Mochi, which is a funny name because it's usually Moshi Moshi. What is something an anime does that will earn it bonus points? My wife and I just watched Lovely Complex, and while I thought it was okay, I was blown away that the main character constantly changed her hairstyle and outfits throughout the series. I'm going to go Caroline.
Well, I read everyone else's answers, Mitsuki's and Mason's, and I actually agreed with theirs, and I also agreed with Mochi Mochi's. They were all good answers, and frankly, I would probably have said any one of those. But if I had to say that wasn't any one of those, I would say witty dialogue, because they're like so many anime are just so bland, and we will talk about one coming up next. But when you have like actually funny banter and just not like paint by numbers dialogue, it really helps. And I guess that's also kind of part and due to the subtitlers, and if we were just watching subtitled. But yeah, definitely witty dialogue.
Mason.
Yeah, I agree with Mochi Mochi. That's a great example. Very similar to Inshuro Bako or Sakura Quest, where those characters get designs for an entire wardrobe, and they like mix and match pieces throughout the series. It's actually incredible what PA Works did with those character designs. So if you haven't watched either of those and appreciate, the changing of outfits, make sure you watch those. For me, I'm a sucker for developing openings, shows that make like subtle tweaks as the show goes on. I'm not talking about, oh, this is the first opening and we aired for 24 episodes and here's the second opening. I'm talking about like this character isn't in the opening, but then they appear in the show and then they appear in the next episode in the opening. Like that stuff is kind of cool. Stuff like Planet Test, obviously JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, Plastic Memories. There's a ton of shows that do it.
Oh, like how Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju did it with like how in different episodes some things will happen and then like little tweaks are made to the OP that kind of foreshadow
Actually,
it.
I thought you were going to mention Erased also did it just for one episode at the end.
That one did it a ton. It was great.
Yeah, so stuff like that is very like unnecessary to making the show good, but when it happens, I'm like, I
It's like
appreciate
little
it.
Easter eggs that just get you so excited.
And when they don't do it, I'm like, oh, it would be so cool if this was there.
Yeah.
So it is funny in shows where, there's supposed to be a lot of characters come in, and you can clearly tell in the opening there are supposed to be more people there, but they haven't drawn them in yet, so it is really blank and bland. Like, yeah, that's a different story. But I do like when shows do it. It's a nice touch.
And when they do that, it also makes it less likely that they're going to spoil things in the OP, because they will keep it updated when certain characters jump in. So you're like, oh, by the way, they showed this guy in the OP. He's obviously a bad guy, but they won't show it until later.
For me, it's when the anime has well-animated backgrounds. I feel like the backgrounds, when a show is not animated well, which is, most of them, the background is the first thing that goes. And then after that, the foreground. And if you have nothing, if you're down to just like the lips moving, well, most anime are just like a person will turn their head and then their lips will move. And then they'll stop moving and then the other person will like turn their head. So if the anime goes all the way to like having like backgrounds with lots of stuff moving around, that's like when you start entering like movie territory and stuff like that, and that just makes the anime like so much more vibrant and more alive. So that's my answer.
Yeah, I agree. I do love a nicely made background. So thank you for your question. It was actually pretty interesting to talk about. And let's get into the moment everyone's been waiting for, the review of The Devil's a Part-Timer Season 2. No! Yep, it came out in summer 2022. I did my impression on it in 639, the episode, and you can find it on Crunchyroll, Funimation, and Hulu. So, for those unfamiliar with The Devil's a Part-Timer, it is a show about Satan himself, who was whisked away from a fantasy world called Ante Isla in the middle of a war between the demons and the humans, where his arch nemesis, the hero Amelia. And so he gets transported into our world, into Earth. And the first season's kind of more about him and his companions trying to make a life in Japan. Meanwhile, at least in the first couple episodes, they are very unaware of anything of like Japanese life. And that was probably the best part of the show, is them trying to figure out just normal life things as they are fantasy characters. And in addition to Amelia herself, who also gets transported to the new world, and their rivalry kind of continues, and whether or not they're going to return to Ante Isla, and whether or not they are going to take over the world. So the show was done by White Fox originally, now done by 3 hertz. Is that how we pronounce it? Yeah, 3
That's
hertz.
how I pronounce it.
Yeah.
Which is never
And-
how you should pronounce things based on me, but that's what I say.
And the director is the same from the first season as well, from a light novel. Now, Mitsugi, what were you thinking about going into this show?
Dumb, because why would the friggin' devil work at fucking McDonald's? Like, that alone makes
Because
this show just like
He needs a
beyond.
job.
He's Satan. His
He
job
doesn't
is
have any power on Earth.
yeah, stay in hell where you belong.
He can't
God
get back
damn.
without power.
Oh my
There's
God.
reasons why he can't go back. I mean, there are a couple of reasons, but one of them being is that he doesn't have enough power to go back to the world.
I love you guys, but I don't think I have it in me to handle an argument about whether or not it's dumb that Satan's working at McDonald's. I can't. It's just too stupid.
He'll take whatever job he can get. He's a very ambitious person.
Okay, but that's my answer.
Mason. Oh,
So-
I mean, well, you said it was basically what I said, so in our notes. But
Yeah, I
you
mean,
want to go?
I thought season 1 was surprisingly good. I watched it a very long time ago. I remember it finishing, being like, yeah, this wasn't bad. I didn't have a strong desire to see any more. I wasn't like so invested in the plot. I was like, this was a fun 12-episode season. Great. And when the more came out, I'm like, wow, it's been quite a while. Good for fans. I guess if it's still enjoyable and engaging and fun, it'll still be a good watch. So maybe a little optimistic, but there was no like desire to be like, whoa, what happens next to Satan? So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Pretty mixed opinions.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, kind of similar because I was really excited because I did enjoy the first season. That was like several years ago since I've watched it. And when the second season was coming out for Anime Club, we decided we're gonna talk about the first season. So I rewatched it, and then I kind of realized that I might have had a little bit of a nostalgia factor going into it. Like I kind of remember it being better than it was, and I still enjoyed it. There was still a lot of good jokes in it, and just good moments. But there were certain things that I was not all that thrilled about, and they just really focused on those things in the second season from what I saw before my impressions. Now, initially, I was not going to pass the show because objectively, it's not great, compared to the first season. But I figured I didn't really have much else from the summer season that I really wanted to pass, and I thought, well, it's been a long time since the first season came out. I think it's worth at least a little chat about, since it has a fan base as
Poor
large
Caroline.
as it does. What?
You have to like come up here and justify passing this.
Yeah, people might be
It
wondering,
was-
why did I pass it? Especially since my opinions of it might not be all that glowing, so people might be confused as to why I passed it.
It
So-
was the summer season, the season where got the least amount of votes of best season of 2022. This is the season, Mitz, where you passed Bastard and Black Summoner, which is, not making any accusations here, but it was a rough season.
I could see why you passed Bastard. Black Summoner was a real...
I've passed plenty of shitty anime, so I'm not blaming you.
So with that, let's get into our spoiler-free recommendation. Mitsugi.
This
Well
anime,
said.
this anime was so fucking bad. I mean, it was like almost unbelievably bad. Wow. I mean, I may have to change my Oscar pick for worst anime. I mean, it's the art and animation are horrendous in this. I mean, I was laying in bed with Pancake and we were watching this, and I felt bad, first of all, for putting it on and making her watch it, but she just couldn't look away. It was like it was, you know what I mean. And I was like, look at this character's shirt. There is absolutely no shading on this shirt at all. It is just matte blue. Or look at this character's hair. It is matte brown. And then there were some I posted a picture on the Discord a while ago because it was both like matte colors and just like her face looked like someone had melted it or something. I mean, it was just, the anime looks terrible. I don't even know if it had music. The characters don't resemble anything that would remotely be recognizable as human. I mean, I mean, you have a talking baby that just like in the dub, it is so brutal. I mean, it's so disappointing. I had to watch the dub because to get this because it's easier that way when I'm at work. But hearing some like 40-year-old woman do baby talk for like 3 hours, probably like 25 total minutes of speaking was just made me want to just like gouge out my eardrums. The story, I don't know what the fuck was going on with that. They just kind of like, it's like, oh, I'm basically living in an apartment and screaming a lot. And then, oh, I lose my job. Now I'm going to go like work at the beach. Now it's just like, what the fuck was this anime even trying to, I don't even know what the hell this anime was even trying to do. Like, honestly, it felt like a whole season of trying to figure out the correct direction in the middle of the ocean, like to your destination, because it was just all over the place. So this was like, yeah, definitely I would never recommend this. It's at the level of stupid with like, oh my God, like Nazo Kanojo or Handmaid May or Mahoromatic or like one of these just like
What are those?
older
Those are
shows.
3 jelly beans. That's what they are.
Yeah, that's
Are
3
are
jelly
those
beans.
anime?
Biatch. Yeah, they're all anime.
I've never heard of those before.
And
Okay.
for good reason.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
3 jelly beans.
So yeah, I would not recommend it.
I
All right.
want to expound a bit on what Mitt says when Mitt says the show is bad. Because I feel like shows can be good, shows can be not bad, shows can be not good, and shows can be bad. And they can be so many different kinds of bad. Like, there are people who watch a show and are like, this is entertainment. If it's not entertaining, it's a bad show. There are people who look for a deeper meaning and insight, and if a show is just very surface level and shallow, they say, it really didn't have depth, it's bad that way. There are shows that present opinions that are just in contrast to what you think. Shows that will say something that you're just like, I don't agree with that state of the worldview. It's problematic for XYZ reasons, and I don't like it, and that's why it's bad. And then you have this show, which is the worst kind of bad there is, which are the shows that have the inability to convey the emotions that it's trying to convey. There will be an action scene that is supposed to be intense, that you're supposed to be engaged with. There's supposed to be a comedy moment. There's supposed to be a tragic drama moment, and none of it lands. And you're just watching it, and nothing is hitting you. And whether it's the trite dialogue, the banal characters that are just so unrealistic, just the filler quote unquote plot.
Are your
Like,
roommates okay?
yeah, my roommate is very invested in these NFL playoffs. So I'm sorry. He's more
Sorry for
invested than
interrupting.
anyone was in Devils a Part-Timer.
There's a lot of money on the line, probably.
a couple G's. Don't worry about it.
Only a couple
This show
G's.
just didn't connect in any way of what it was trying to do. Everything was phoned in. It wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't funny. It wasn't charming. Like, it was lacking so much of the essence that made season 1 a surprise treat. So I don't recommend the show even to fans of season 1. Like, nobody should watch this unless you are so ingrained in this series that you were like, I'm watching this until the very end, and I want to watch season 3, so I have to watch season 2. Like, it is abysmal.
It feels like it could go on for a while too.
But it's going nowhere at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, it's bringing up stuff, and it's a really bad show.
Like, I will say, and I don't think Caroline's given her thought yet, but like I will say, there are anime that you guys especially hated, and by that I'm thinking of Realist Hero, like specifically, or like Genius Prince, one of these like shows. They're not good, but like at least these shows stayed on track mostly. Like, it was, this guy's trying to like fix the kingdom's infrastructure, find ways to raise money. This anime is like, they can't stay on track for 5 fucking minutes. Like, the anime is about 97 different things all at once because they just can't find a way to tell the story at all. It's unbelievable. I'm like, this is so much worse than Realist Hero. It is not even close. Because like I said, at least Realist Hero had a coherent like concept of what they were trying to accomplish. This anime is just like, they don't have any fucking clue, which is kind of how the devil ends up at working at McDonald's anyway. I mean, kind of.
Caroline,
give
what
me
do
a
you
fucking
think of
break.
this show?
He has no resume, Mitsuki. He can work nowhere.
He's the
And so-
devil.
He does not have a resume. He's
His
never
name is
worked.
Jacob. No one's gonna hire someone.
He's not going to be a corporate guru without doing something.
He needs credentials.
Corporate guru? How about just like walk through a wall and go into a bank and steal all the money? You're the fucking devil.
He doesn't have any magic.
He's the devil. Convince the person at the counter to just go get you the money. I don't know.
He actually, funny you
Caroline.
say that, because he was
Oh
able to
my
do
God.
something like that in the beginning of the first season, but they
Yeah.
ran out of magic,
They're-
and he doesn't have any power unless certain circumstances allow it. And he is
Caroline.
a generally pretty good guy, so he's not going to rob a bank.
Caroline, he can fly. He has
You saw them walk to the Tokyo Tower or whatever.
I also saw them fly. And he has superhuman strength and powers. He can make
In
he can make millions of dollars.
circumstances.
He can make $1 million in 3 days.
This
But
show
he
is all about
doesn't- he
explaining things for no reason.
But the fact that he
can't
works at
consistently
McDonald's,
have power. That's why.
he's the devil. Just take your sword.
Saying that, but you're not
And go-
getting what I'm saying. He cannot make magic out of thin air.
Caroline, I'm just stuck on the fact that I'm trying to that you're defending this anime.
I'm saying that there
At
are
any level.
reasons for the things that you are criticizing, and I will say this:
Oh my God.
like 99% of all your criticisms are correct. You guys both said it pretty eloquently that it is like a boat in the middle of the ocean, not knowing which way is land, because it'll start going this way, and they're like, "Wait a minute, maybe we should turn around." And they're like, "Let's turn around. Let's go back this way, and then let's go this way. I know land is that way, but no. Even when land is in sight, They are starting to get things done here. They drop actual plot points there, and they're like, "Nope, let's go to the farm."
I thought you were gonna say, nope, let's drop a baby on the boat. That'll
Oh my
liven things
God.
up.
Fuck me.
Yeah,
Honestly.
so it was so irritating because it's like, what are they doing in this season? They are working odd jobs. They are doing stuff with a baby, and I still don't know what this baby is
Torturing
or why
me.
she's
That's what they
here.
did.
Yeah, so and I don't like the Emmy Mao relationship. I don't like Emmy. And Mao's kind of annoying in this season as well. He was okay in the first season. Now he's just really annoying. Don't want them to be together, but I know that's what the anime is going towards, that they're eventually going to end up together for whatever reason. Yeah, there's and the art style is bad. The first season had a much more pleasant look to it. It's not funny. Nothing
Hell
lands.
no.
As Mason said, it doesn't, like, it keeps on failing, sticking the landing on everything. Nothing is working. And it's just so disappointing. Like, so you waited 9 years to make a sequel to this show, and this is what you make? Partially this is due to the the content of the light novels, because you can't get around that. But the quality of it, it's just not good. Nothing's working. And
You know what?
unfortunately, that's just how it is.
You want to know what the truth? You want to know what the biggest tragedy is?
What?
This anime has a 6.67 on my anime list, which is also very close to 6.66. I just put my score and I did my best to drop it to a 6.66, but it didn't move. I do apologize. I have
That's too
failed
bad.
you.
People of the world, unite.
But I would al-
lend us your power.
But don't go too overboard. We want it just precisely 6.6.
Yeah, it's gotta be 6.
But I'm also just like flabbergasted that this anime even has a 6 points, almost a 7 on my anime list. It's just goes to show you that everything gets a 7, pretty much. I don't even
Yeah.
know if we care about the spoilers, but would we like to play the spoiler drop?
Let's do
I
it.
guess so.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god.
What?
Where do we start?
The baby. It has to be. Because
Let's talk to the elephant in the room here.
So, in my perspective, the baby was just a way of doing the awkward, forcing Emmy and Mao into that, like, pseudo parent relationship thing, which in season 1 took a relationship that was kind of naturally developing into a cute little like couple, and just making it, as well as all the characters in general, just so artificial and like, ha, now we have to go on the date, ha ha ha, now we have to be mom and dad, ha ha ha. Like, it was so robotic, and it wasn't so much the child that was annoying, though she was. It was
Oh my God,
the
bro.
way that she made all the characters around her like fundamentally change in order to serve a very
True.
contrived purpose.
Yeah, I mean, man, I love you guys a lot, and having to listen to this adult woman talk like a baby for an entire season of anime proves that I love you, because there could
It
be
does.
nothing more miserable than that. And as for the voice actress, may God have mercy on your soul. That's all I can say.
Well, I feel bad for you, Mitz, because the best you could say is, oh, it's a baby. They're about to go into like combat. We can leave the baby at home and leave it out of it. But no, the baby is like the sword now. So now you get to hear her during all the fight scenes to be like, watch out behind you, Mom.
And I love how there's a plot point where she's like considering when she eventually has to kill Mao, and he's like, wait a minute, I can't use her to kill him because she would hate that.
I can't.
Oh, it was so bad.
So the entire point of the baby was just simply to be the sword? Because that's all I really recall her
Get
doing.
it. So she is a shard of a branch of a tree.
She's a fucking moe blob, is what she is. But
And
why is
so
she in this
then
anime?
Where did the egg come from, and why did it hatch? And
The
I honestly
egg?
forget. Yeah, she came in like, was it like an apple or something? It was a while ago since I watched
It was an apple. The show tries to get into the whole like tree of
Apple.
life with like the Kabbalist, system of like Sephiroth of Jewish philosophy, and being like, oh, like it kept on being like, oh, Doth is going to appear,
What's
and
Doth? We kept on mentioning it.
Sephiroth, and like Malkuth.
Did you say Sephiroth?
Sephiroth, not Sephiroth.
Some
There's, like-
fancy 30s.
Exactly. Like, the show is trying to lean on this whole, like, system of the world and how it's connected, and I don't think any of us cared about it, because
No, fuck no.
the show didn't give us a reason to care.
Yeah.
It's
It
about
just
the
threw out
devil.
names, and it meant nothing.
And they kept on making references. Wait, what are you laughing at?
This anime is so fucking bad. I mean, honestly, this anime is about the devil working at. You just gotta put all the biases aside, put all your knowledge of anime aside for a moment. It's about the devil working at McDonald's.
And it's funny.
And no, it's not. And Lucifer.
Yes, it is.
And Lucifer is a NEET who doesn't do anything except lay around like on the floor of his apartment.
Yeah, that part is pretty stupid. But the first season, it did make it funny. And I know that you hate Ashia, but Ashia was my favorite character in this show.
Who is Ashia?
He's the white-haired character, like the second.
The really
now.
persnickety one.
You wanna
the
know what's
nerd who's
hilarious?
like, we gotta worry about our finances.
Yeah, the
Right?
one that screamed the entire first episode.
I
Here's-
really don't remember him screaming all that much.
Here's a funny thing. At least on my computer right now, if you go to my anime list, I can't get this anime's page to load anymore. I think we broke it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the baby is in this. I don't know why she
But
has to
even
have
if-
like obnoxious two-toned hair. It's just she's just like a football that I want to kick, pretty much.
Oh my god.
She's about football size, and
Honestly, she's not the problem with the show, though.
She's barely
Like,
in
no,
it,
this-
to be
this-
honest.
she's in it a lot, and this anime
She's in it, but
has such
like,
deeper
it's
problems.
not really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the whole, oh, a baby comes, and now this angel Gabriel is there to claim her, but he's like, never mind, I'll come back tomorrow. And then he comes
Yeah.
back the next
bro,
day.
like I'll come back like
my
tomorrow.
God, I'm gonna get the baby. Don't make me out to be the bad guy here. And they're like, but
And like
we'd
the
rather not.
reasoning is pretty. I think the reasoning is pretty understandable. Like you're afraid the world's gonna end if this baby doesn't get back to where she belongs, and they're like, no, but she's so cute and we love her, so no, you're not taking her.
Mason,
And he's
I'm
like,
like-
oh, okay. Like, there's
I
no
mean,
stakes.
what are you gonna lose if you give her back? I mean, it's not really that big a deal. She's just a magical baby
Gabe,
that you barely know.
Gabriel was voiced by he was 100%. So somebody needs to corroborate this. 100% voiced by the Saw dude. Dude, Saw dude, Saw, like Gabriel's here to take your baby away, and like Satan, like it'll be great because God will be really happy about me, and he'll give me a new surfboard.
Okay, show. I believe you. I believe these are high stakes. I'm invested now. The baby is important. And why should we care about it? Tell me what's going to happen next. Oh, actually, we're going to go on a trip to Choshi to help work at a beachside shack. And then the demons are going to attack, but you're going to defend them off with like the worst fight anyway. In the next episode, you're going to go to Nagano. You're going to work on a farm. And farm arc. Okay.
We're going to go farming.
We're going to learn about vegetables being picked up. Like, I like the slice of life moments of this show. Like, I was excited to go back to not ham-fisted plot of magnitudes that the show couldn't handle. But no, it was boring then too. Like, the show just didn't know what it wanted to be, and so it wasn't anything good.
I mean, okay, so let's break it down. So, like, I remember in the first episode or two, they bring in the baby, they tease the backstory of Mao, and so on and so forth. So I thought they were actually going to get into those plot points this season when they open it up with that kind of stuff. But no, they don't do anything with it. And then they kind of bring it back at the very end. And I'm like, wait a minute. You had all this time to explore these important questions that would actually make a plot. But they didn't. And then, for whatever reason, I kind of thought that the last third was, in comparison to the rest, okay. And that had to be the episode where they go and buy a television. Because that is, as stupid as it sounds, Mitsuki, that is the kind of stuff that they would do in the first season.
That was the closest to season one, but it still missed.
It missed the
so
mark.
much of the life and character.
It wasn't very funny, and it wasn't very live, as he said, the life and characters. But it was closer to what the first season was kind of like than the rest of this.
The plot of like, oh, we can afford a TV with this much budget. Oh, but I've been saving points by shopping at the store. Like, that was like a faint remnants of the type of humor, but it was so gone at that point. But I guess I don't disagree with that, Caroline.
Yeah, and Mitsuki, we know you just don't like slice of life, but if you like slice of life, then that was the kind of stuff that would happen.
How in the fuck is this slice of life?
Well,
it's got a demon baby. It's got a demon baby that like turns into a sword. The first season was
pretty slice of lifey.
It's about Satan working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
I mean, how does that resemble real life?
It's a slice of
Mitch is like, how dare Satan be represented in this way? As the news break has you inviting him inviting you for tea.
He would at least work at Burger King.
Oh my god, he wouldn't work at any of these places. He would have an army of enslaved people to like rob every bank in Japan.
No, he's more of like the kind of like was a charismatic kind of guy who wants to naturally gain power. And so he starts off in the show just working as a part-timer, then he works his way up to manager and he's very excited. And he's like, I'm going to be upper level management and that kind of thing. So that's what he's going for.
Can we talk about
to war against KFC? That was pretty fun in the season.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how bad this looked?
Yeah, it was not good.
Yes, we can. And to be fair, season 1 looked pretty good. It actually didn't need to look as good as it did. The art and animation looked so abysmal in this season. It was not good for any moment. There wasn't a single defining second where I'm like, oh, that looks like any sort of reasonable anime. And this show didn't need to look amazing. Like, it is a dumb little comedy. I get that. It doesn't need Sakuga out the wazoo. But it still looked so amateurish that it was kind of... I was going to say funny, but it wasn't that either. It was just bad. There's not much else to say.
I mean, I feel like usually in these anime, things might not move really that well, but the character models at least look decent usually. In this anime, I didn't think either was the case. I didn't think it looked good in terms of movement, and it didn't look good in terms of like detail on things, and it was like they put no time in. Like, we're just gonna basically, like, we're gonna make this character on the computer, I assume, and we're gonna like have her hair, and we're gonna click on the paint bucket and dump like orange onto her hair to make her hair orange. And then we'll normally go in there and put some detail in there, some shiny shit, some shading. No, they're just like, fuck it. We don't have time. You know, we stayed up too late and partied too much and slept in. So now we just got to click the paint bucket and move on. Click, 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 boom, done. There's no shading, detail. It looks like, I don't know, something that could have come off of newgrounds.com circa like 2004.
Yeah. And 3 Hertz isn't a bad studio. They didn't do 8 other shows at the same time. Like, something had to go wrong in production.
Yeah, I think so
And
too.
I don't know. It's not easy to be like, oh, well, they rushed it because they had 9 years. And obviously, they're not working on it for 9 years. Obviously, that's not what I'm implying. But what had to happen behind the scenes that made this so juvenile? I don't know. I don't want to. I frankly don't care. The animation was bad.
Yeah.
The music was not good. The ED was just like a bunch of Shiho like fan service out of nowhere. Just like, why? Why did any of that happen? Like, it served no purpose. I'm
And
stunned.
then I posted about it in our anime channel on Discord. And the final scene, like one of the last things you see is Chiho, or it was like Amelia's mom taking over Chiho's mind to talk to Mao. But in the meantime, during this very serious conversation, we have Chiho in her hospital bed wearing pajamas and with her big boobs, because like that's all she has. And like the one of the buttons in her
Chiho.
shirt is just off for some reason. Like the
Yeah,
rest
it
of it is
was.
very buttoned up, super tight, so you could see her voluptuous bosoms. And then the middle button is just undone for some reason. And I'm like, why did they feel the need to put that in there?
But I think it's a perfect comparison. Like, if you look at the ED for season 1, it is focused on Chiho. Like, it's about her envisioning herself being an astronaut, working in all these different jobs. And yeah, it's about, look how cute the character we drew is. Look at her being cute in all these different occupations. But you can point to her saying, she's thinking about her future. She's thinking about all the things she'll be when she grows up, what she'll live like as an adult. This ED was just, let's just draw her in a bathing suit and just slowly pan up her body for a couple different shots. And that was like, there was nothing to it. It was just the worst thing ever. It was bad. I've said bad way too many times this episode, but it really is abysmal.
I'm dying here because you guys are talking about Chiho's boobs, and I'm like, really? Were they that big? And so I really couldn't remember, and so I Google Chiho devil part-timer boobs, just
Of course you did.
And there's pictures of her like working at McDonald's holding up like a food tray. It's just got her boobs on the tray, like that's what's for lunch. It's just killing me.
Oh wait, remember I think they're in the first season.
So
there
much
was
hentai.
this gag where they were ordering something from McDonald's, and it was like, and Chiho and Emmy are both there. Now, of course, Chiho has big boobs, Emmy does not. So they do this joke where they were like, 2 double pounders, please, and then 2 massive burgers come up into the screen, and then they compare it to Chiho's boobs, and then it was like, and 1 single burger, and it was like the teeny tiny patties. They push the tray forward, and then there's Emmy's.
Oh my god!
See, that was good humor that was not present in the second season.
You know what? Honestly, I was going to give this anime a 1, but after doing this Google image search and looking through here a little bit, it's getting at least a 4. It's
I didn't realize you could be so
Chiho's
easily
worth it.
swayed.
Chiho is worth it. People really
I love
outdid
how
themselves.
this is not even due to you watching it, just looking up pictures.
Yeah. Sometimes that's really what you need.
No
Yeah, but
one cared about this. I'm ready to score it. There's not
I don't
much
think
more
we
to
could talk
say.
about anything else, really. Mitsuki.
I'm giving it a 4.5.
No, you're not.
Too late. You
Chiho's
can't change
killing
it. I
you out
already
of
put
5.
it in the doc.
4.5 Chiho's killing you out of 5. I'm saying it right now.
Don't be serious.
Mason's entering it into law. It's being
No,
written. It's being
this
written.
cannot go down. You're ruining
The annals
you're
of
ruining
history.
The averages.
Oh man, there you go. All right, who's next?
You can't be serious.
It's that.
I really want you to change it.
Mason, what do you think?
I think the show was a waste of time. The best part about this show was that it was too bland to be offensive. I'm giving it 1. Why did we watch this show out of 5?
Didn't you guys give Realist Hero like a 0.5? I mean, isn't this as bad as Realist Hero? Come on.
I mean, I didn't despise the characters as much as I did in Realist Hero.
All right, whatever you want to do is fine. I'm so surprised. You guys, this really puts into perspective how badly you guys hated Realist Hero. Like, you guys really fucking hate that anime.
I do.
I hope there better not be a season 3. Well, we won't be watching it anyway, but all right, Caroline, you're up.
You see, for whatever reason, I was thinking of giving this show a 1.5, but then I realized there really isn't that many things that I really liked about it, because it was kind of one of those shows that I was just trying to watch to get through, and it's a disappointing compared to the first season. It's everything bad about the first season is just the second season. The only time that it got interesting was at the extreme end, and it just felt like a waste of time. And I hate that they're pushing the Mao-Emmy relationship, because I know that's probably going to be endgame, and I hate that idea. So with that, I think I ought to give this show 1 double pounder out of 5.
You know, I made I made Big Mac tacos about a month ago, and they were so fucking phenomenal.
You mentioned.
Oh my god, they tasted exactly like Big Macs. I mean, the recipe for the sauce is not that complicated. Oh man, I want those Big Mac tacos again soon. I need them. Maybe when Mitsuki's mom visits again.
So what's the actual score for this?
You're just stalling for time.
Oh, I'm dead serious. I'm not moving.
How else is this show gonna keep its average of a 2?
I mean, 2 doesn't feel that wrong.
Didn't you say that you were going to put this on the worst anime of 2022? Or was that Mason?
That was me.
That was Mitz, but that was
until I
before
found
certain
inspiration.
Circumstances came to light.
Yeah, I really wish I didn't mention the joke, because for whatever reason, this is really bothering me.
All right. Get us out of here, Caroline.
I don't want to end this because I want to reconsider your score. But anyway, you can check us out on social media. We are at Twitter at AAA Podcasts. We're on Facebook. We're on Discord. You can join by going to AAADiscord.com, right, Mitsuki?
AAADiscord.com takes you straight to the Discord. We should have every single listener well, not everybody has Discord, but if you have Discord and you listen, you should be on the Discord, AAADiscord.com.
Yeah, because there's a ton of interesting conversations you can be a part of, not just anime, and it's a great place to make friends and enemies. You can also find us on TikTok, _anime_addicts, for when I eventually make videos, which could be soon. I have an idea. And yeah, let's look forward to next week, where we are going to be reviewing the second core of Spy X Family. Woohoo! And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Please change your score. You'll change your score, right, Mitsuki? Please? Please?